So first thing is you'll notice how I hold the knife. This is an 8-inch chef's knife. Everyone should have something like this at home. And you'll notice that when I hold the knife, I actually hold it up high as opposed to holding it here like we're shaking hands. Think of it like when somebody pinches you on the cheek. That's what I want to repeat here. And that's why I hold it up high, because it makes it more of an extension of my hand and I have more control. The left hand, because I'm a righty, I make a sign kind of like everything's okay. And then I turn my fingers in, and this is how I typically hold the food down. That keeps my fingertips all intact, so we keep 10 fingers by the end of this demonstration. So I'm going to hold the food down, and you'll notice that I've still got the same grip. The table's a little lower than what I'm used to, but we'll improvise. Just like that. Okay, turn it up a little bit. So because it's crunchy, like I said, it will last a really long time in the fridge. And you'll notice that the motion of my knife, I know maybe if you can't see in the back, you're welcome to come up front, but the motion of the knife that I'm doing is sort of like an elliptical. Like when Kevin puts you on the elliptical machine and it rotates, that's sort of the motion that I'm repeating in here over and over again, okay? So that's my cabbage. I'll get a bowl here and put that in. Let's talk vegetables. So I have some zucchini, and I also have eggplant. A few different varieties of eggplant to show you. First off, as far as selecting zucchini, eggplant, summer squash, any of those smaller ones are always sweeter than the larger ones. Believe it or not. And the reason why it has to do with seeds. Seeds are what make it a little bit bitter. Even in an eggplant, you get a giant eggplant, you cut it open, it has all these seeds in it, and then you feed it to your kids, and then they say, I hate eggplant. Well, that's because the seed has made it a little bit bitter. So the smaller ones actually are sweeter, and that's why this Italian eggplant costs $5 a pound, as opposed to the regular eggplant that's maybe, I don't know, $1.29 now, I think, maybe. The other thing is, as far as eggplant goes, well, this is just a fancy zebra eggplant. But this is the size of, I guess, a small Italian eggplant. And then this one I brought here is actually a Chinese eggplant. It's got a nice light purple color. The Japanese version is the same shape, but it's darker. If you have anyone in your family that doesn't like eggplants so much, definitely try and find this one because it has a thinner skin and it's actually a little bit lighter, a little bit sweeter than what you would get from the regular eggplant. So it's worthy of checking out. I want to say it's maybe like $1.29 a pound for this. And you can find these at a lot of the markets now. Like I'm trying to say, Reading Terminal Market, I don't know what's out here in New Jersey, but I'm sure a lot of the open markets on the weekend will have something like this, okay? So to cut this, I'm just cutting off the two ends here. This particular, and all I want to do is cube it. That's all I want to do. So whenever I'm handling a vegetable like this, I'm trying to get them in similar shapes. So my first thing is to try to cut off planks, like so. And I want to cut this into planks also. Maybe one more. Okay. So now I have everything in planks. It's all a system here. And then I want to cut everything into strips, like so. Okay, or batons, as we say in the culinary world. A baton is more expensive than a strip. It just works that way. Okay. So the strips are all cut, and then based on the strips, I come back and now I cut off my dice. So again, same grip on the knife. I'm sort of holding all of this together. I'm coming down like so. Okay, and it gets it relatively uniform. There, let's talk about the peppers. Again, super bright colors, lots of beta-carotene that we like. So how do we cut the peppers without having the seeds go everywhere? That's sort of the tricky part. So what I do is I look at the pepper sort of like it's a box or it's a house. And all I'm going to do is come down every side. See that? And I'm just going to cut the walls off the house. And I'll cut the basement too. Okay? Now all the seeds stay here as opposed to all over the walls. So we can chuck that and we've got the good stuff right here. There are other grains as well, like quinoa, and in this case, bulgur, which sounds like a horrible name. I wish they would name it something else. Then people will probably eat it more. It's also something that's called cracked wheat. Okay? And you can find this usually, I want to say, sometimes they have it at sort of the ethnic foods aisle, or at Whole Foods they'll have it in the bulk bins where you can just pull a cup and use it. But what's really great about it, it can be quicker. If you look at the directions to prepare the bulgur, large saucepan, put in some water, put it in the boulder, bring it to a boil, put the lid on for 15 to 20 minutes, and that's it. That's faster than rice, faster than, I mean, it's almost as fast as possible. And actually, bulgur, the texture is going to be very similar to couscous, if that makes sense. But it's actually, think of it like healthy couscous, okay? It's got lots of good fiber, and it actually has more protein in it than brown rice. So why not, right?